So I'm just going to be doing a commentary on my painting. Basically, it's a black and white painting. You know, the white's not perfectly white, but it's got a little bit of grey tinge in it. This has been used to make an effective sort of cloud-like appearance. So the sky's appearing sort of overcast. There's a silhouette of two trees here. And of course you've got the road with the lines, the middle line, the lines on both sides, and the sidelines to, you know, outline the road ever more. It's a very simple painting. I actually made it the original version with only pure white with black, and sort of one of those shadow paintings using the least colors and mostly just variation in the two colors in order to create an image. So that's why it's so stark with silhouette. I found this to be one of my favorite images, and it's also one of my most successful images. And it's still selling quite well after 2 weeks. So I've made many variations of this same kind of image, and they've all come out differently. This is the first one I've made with a little bit of variation in the sky. Usually I just do a plain white color, but this one has a little bit of variation for cloud to enhance the skyline. Before I put on a little bit of glow on the horizon, because horizons do have a bit of glow. I sold that one 2 days ago, but this one doesn't have that sort of lighter line on the horizon to accentuate the horizon ever more. It just has the shadowy dark and the variation with the sky. It's a rather small image. I'm not expecting a lot from this because it has a little bit of it's a little bit messy on this side, but you never know, it might surprise me yet. You do get surprised when you sell every single painting, and I think it's still quite a nice painting. I like the sky with the variation. It's one of my favorite sort of skies, but not always does the variable sky work. You know, I almost thought the one with the horizon wasn't going to work, but it did. I'm expecting to be able to sell this sometime, but I might have to redo the lines in the side just because just so I can fix this up. But other than that, you know, it's all good. Yeah, a very nice, easy to look at sort of image, and nice small size. Not everyone wants a large painting, so it's a size around as big as my hand. But I still find it striking, even though it's sort of shaped a little differently. The trees are shaped differently. I put more a different sort of style of tree. Usually I put sort of a bulbous looking tree, but this one sort of fans out, so it's a different kind of style of tree, but it still looks quite good. So yeah, that's one of my highway paintings, or road paintings, whatever you want to call it. I generally term this as my highway painting. I've made quite a lot of these, and they've all been outlined as highway. So my definitely #1 success so far. Hi guys, so I'm just commentating on another one of my paintings. This one was a bit different from my other painting. I went back to this style of room painting because I've sold I've sold um, a similar painting before, even though not for the most amount of money, but I was interested to know if anyone still wanted to buy the image of a room. So this one has a little TV here with a window and a plant with its vase, and of course the carpet. It's a lot plainer than the last one that I made. The last one I made had a couch and a table and a window and television and a smaller and rounder rug. But this one is quite a lot different. It's got wider patches of white, which has made it more roomy and simple. I'm hoping this one does quite well because I rather like the image. I like the image of the TV how I've done the TV here, which was different than my other one. I like the image of the plant and even the window, just the way I've done the window. It's a very simple window, but I find it very appealing, and I like the shadow effect that's happened here. I don't always have control of the shadow effect. Sometimes I just get a little bit of the black on the brush and I end up scraping it. That's what happened down here, and I found once I started realizing I had an effective shadow effect, I sort of continued to enhance this image with a shadow effect, and that's why it came up the wall as well, and a little bit here. So I really like that sort of smudged effect. I don't always do it. Sometimes I just plain ignore shadow because I'm not the most effective with shadow, but I do like it in this particular image. I think it gives it a great touch. But I like this spacey room. I just like the image, and the image of the TV I love, the image of the plant I like a lot, and even the carpet. The carpet didn't come out as accurate as I wanted, but I decided to make it more slanted than what I usually do with carpets, to give the appearance of a closer image of the carpet, so it comes towards you, which is why it sort of fans out towards the end of this painting, because it's giving the image of distance, and so of course the further away the carpet is, the smaller it gets. So that's something that I did that's very different. I don't normally do that either. This is a little bit messy here, but I'm not expecting that to be a large issue. It's just that some paint dried in a little bit of a swirl, but it also gives it a little bit of contour, I guess, and I don't mind a little bit of messiness. I often do include a little bit of messiness. Same up here, a little bit of messiness up here. There's even grains down here. It just happens because I work with clumpy paint to thicken the paint. So so it does get a little bit. Most of my paintings do get a little bit messy, and it gives it its own character, which I like as well. So I'm hoping this one sells, but these sorts of paintings are you never know how well it's going to sell, whether it's going to sell for cheap, whether it's going to sell for a decent amount. You never know what the general public want, and so you're always guessing. But hopefully I get some interest, and see how many people want to offer for this one. But I rather like it myself. There's no way I'm gonna be demolishing this painting. because I think it does show a lot of promise. But I can only wait and see what everyone else might think of it and everything. Um, I can only just wait and see. It's only a matter of taking time. But it's definitely an original, and I really like this one. It's come out really good. Some of my other room paintings, it's been a little bit cluttered, even a little bit messy. Whereas this one's got really clean lines, really clean images. It's not cluttered, and I really like it. I like the breadth and the width, and I like the space. It's a lot different from my other room paintings, and I think I hope that other people enjoy it as well, and become drawn to it, and want to give me heaps of offers. So yeah, so yep. So this is my latest one, and I'm really sort of excited about it because I think it's interesting and new, and a different angle of style for me. So this is yet another original painting. You probably can't see it properly because it's so big. So I'll just try and put it up without blocking up too much light. You can't see it as well now that it's up, but you can have a better view of it. I'll put it back down in a minute so you can see it clearly. But as you can see, it's 4 frames of a similar image. Now, I made this because my highway image is generally very popular, and I decided I want to take this image somewhere else, and so I made this rather rough 4-frame highway painting. Now I'll just put it back up. Oop, there goes the computer. Now it's got 4 different sort of images of a highway painting, and plus a border with a really sort of rough touch, additional character with this sort of globs. It's supposed to be, shown as 4 frames of highway image. You can even say it shows 4 frames of travel. And it's very, very rough, very rough style. But I think maybe someone might like this one because it's different in the way that it's not just the highway. It's sort of an action painting as well. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of roughness with all this clumping that you can see everywhere. And I did that on purpose because I wanted it to look rough. And it even has you can even see a bit of yellow through the white, and that's also been left there to show sort of a rough tile. But generally it has 4 frames of highway. Very rough. I did these very roughly, in the hope that it might show a bit of original character. This one has more grey around the skyline than I usually put, and it shows a very simple style of road that stretches right to the horizon. This one only partially reaches the horizon, and it has a little bit of white variation in the sky, and also quite a rough tree and a little bit of hill as well. This one has a larger amount of hill, a different kind of tree. Again, very rough. You can see the clumping here. You can see the clumping down here, and it's supposed to be rough. It's supposed to be original and different. And it shows only a partial, the road partially reaching the horizon. That's because it has a little bit of hill in the distance. And this one as well it's got more than one mound and a road that almost reaches the horizon, plus very rough tree line outline. So and that one's very different as well. And these are just just little dots and patterns that I created just for character in the border. And I have no idea if anyone will actually want this, but it's just to give a bit of variation in the style, in the way I do the road paintings, the highway paintings that I've been selling quite a lot of in itself. So hopefully someone will pick it up and enjoy it, but as with most of my unsold paintings, I always say you can only wait and see, because you never know what is going to be chosen, what isn't going to be chosen. I've thrown away some very original paintings that I thought showed a lot of promise, but they just weren't cutting it. So I just give them away, really. But so some of them are very successful, and this highway image is very successful. It's not complete with the little road signs and little dots on the outside, but I made it simpler just to make it original, and it's also smaller as well. It's a lot smaller than what I normally than the size that I normally paint, despite the fact that the board in a whole is larger, and I think it's going to be a collector's item. It's going to be turned into a collector's item if anyone picks it up. I won't readily get rid of this one either, but if no one picks it up, I might change the style more to the original style. But I'm not really looking to change it anytime soon in order to make it appear identical to the other highway paintings, with the additional outline on the road and the things here, and a neater tree perhaps. But yeah, I do like the messiness of this, but it's definitely the collector's item, for anyone who's interested in collecting an original highway, which is going to be, this is probably going to be the only one that I make of this particular painting, because it's, I don't know, it's one of those daredevil paintings where you never know what can happen with this. It's going to be either very popular or it's going to be very unpopular. So, but it's definitely an original, and yeah, I'm looking to put this on as wild card for sale, and see if anyone wants to pick it up readily. So, but it's definitely going to be the original of this combination of highway paintings that I've been selling. So, I'm very excited in being able to sell this next week. So, yeah, another original one.